Hi, this is Rachelle with Scrapcraftastic, and today I'm going to work on the setup of this Moterm cover that has the Dollar Tree planner in it. So at the beginning of the year, I've already taken everything apart, but at the beginning of the year, I never covered this. I just started working in it. I still want to work on it and make it nice for whoever receives this once it's complete. And I know I've been falling off not doing weekly setups in it, but eventually I will catch up. So since I repaired it, I'm going to work on making a cover for it. But what I also want to do to show, I'm going to convert this Moterm notebook cover, it's a B6 notebook cover, to a traveler's notebook without damaging the integrity of the actual notebook. So I'm going to take my decorative pen out. For now, I'm going to take these two sticker flakes out. These are from Fabulously Creative, and we're going to have just an empty notebook cover. And you can do this with any notebook cover, not just the Moterm. So the first thing I'm going to do is kind of decorate the background just a little bit. And I have tons of paper pads. This one is falling apart. From Michael's back in the day when they had nice paper pads. So I'm going to look for a page in this one. This was on the bright side. It's a Hot Buy paper pad. Let's use this one. It's got a little bling and a little color. Okay. So what I'm going to do first is put a background in this notebook, and this step isn't necessary, but I just kind of want to add a little more color to it. So I'm going to just guesstimate. Let's see, does this go all the way to the end? Just checking to see how far I would need to put the paper in, and I think maybe 10 inches should do it. So I'm just going to mark here, I'm thinking, and then about, let's see, about right here. Then if I need to trim it down some more, I can. So let's trim this down. So I may not be able to get all of this done in this video, but we will come back and finish what we don't get finished in this video. So okay, then let's see. So I don't really use these. I don't want to cut them because like I said, I don't want to change the notebook itself, the cover. So I'm just going to leave those in the back. So I'm just going to slide this paper in like so. So that's kind of like the background that's going to be behind this notebook. Maybe I could just tape those up back there. Let's tuck them in for now and see what happens. If they fall out, then I may put a little washi tape on them to hold them out of the way. So next I'm going to make a laminate base that will hold the strings because I want to turn this into a traveler's notebook. So I need something to put the strings on. All right, so I'm warming up my laminator, but I just wanted to measure this. I did cut it at 7 inches. You could probably get away with 7 1/8, 7 1/4 if you're trying to do the same thing. And let's see, that paper was 12 inches wide. So I cut off 1 3/4 of an inch. So that's what I did to cut this piece. Now for the laminate, I'm going to use 5mm laminate, and I want to reinforce that by putting something in the laminate pouch, like a piece of acetate, a piece of the printable acetate, or I could use some of my Duralar. Okay, so I went and played around in my stash for a bit. I found another piece of paper that I might use for something in this. Let's put that aside as an option. And then I also pulled out this acetate. I'm pretty sure I probably got it from Michael's or Joann, or yep, this is Michael's. I've had this in my stash for a while. So basically what I need is to cut something the same size as this, maybe a little bit bigger. Then I'm going to laminate it and use it as a base to punch holes to string and make this a traveler's notebook. Now, do I want to cut this with the plastic on it? Probably. And I'm going to turn it this way. Let's do 7 1/4 and hope that it's not too big. So 7 1/4. And then I'm going to cut off 1 3/4 inch. Let's do 1 1/2 to be on the safe side. Again, I can cut it shorter, but I can't make it longer. Okay. And so also I want to mention that, you know, when we laminate things, we try not to cut in the air bubble. Typically that's only necessary when you're doing multiple pages. Like if you're putting 2 pieces of cardstock together and you're laminating them, then the laminate's not going to stick to the inside of those 2 pieces of cardstock. And if you cut in the air bubble, it's going to come apart. If you're just laminating one thing, the laminate is stuck to each side on that thing, and especially something like acetate. So it's not going to come apart because it's actually sealed onto that laminate. I hope that makes sense. I just want to make that clear. Here we go with a piece of 5mm laminate, and I'm going to just put this piece in here and take it out of the protective covering and slide this in here. And I know I have it upside down, but I just want to get it in here so that it doesn't get any lint or anything like that on it. And I'm not certain that this acetate is heat safe, so it's inside the laminate, but you're kind of doing this at your own risk. You could probably do a low heat option. Okay, so that's one run through the laminator. Now I'm gonna cut off the excess. Let's start with the cool side first. And I am cutting just close to the edge of the air bubble. The air bubble is not that big because this is fairly thin acetate that I laminated. So, and again, I'm not cutting too small because I want to make sure that I have room if I need to make any adjustments. Okay, let's run this through one more time. Let's run it through the other way. Then I'm gonna just use my corner rounder on the 1/4 inch side. This is the We Are Memory Keepers corner chomper to round these corners. You can use your scissors to do the same thing. All right, now let's see if this is the right size. Probably should have fit it before I did that, but let's see. So I want this to slide in here, and yep, I need to trim it down a little bit. It's too tall. So let's do this side. Once I do this, I'm gonna measure it and give you my finished size. Okay, that's better. So let's go ahead and hit those corners again. With the laminate, my finish, ooh, I need to wash my ruler. It's got glue all over it. I'm at 7 1/4 by about 10 5/8 or 10 3/4 is probably fine. So let's see if this will slide in. Got little corners here. Then this would go in here. So, okay. So that's our base. That's what we're going to punch our holes in. And let's find the actual center of it by folding it over. Let's slide this out and get ready to punch the holes. I think I'm going to do 3 holes. I'm not going to do eyelets. You can do eyelets if you choose to. I'm going to use the small hole, which is, I think this is the 1/8 inch. The other hole is the 3/16 inch. And I'm going to come in about 1/4 inch. Let me make sure once again I'm in the middle. So I'm going to go in the middle about 1/4 of an inch up and punch. Yikes. And then I'm going to come over just a little bit, about 1/4 of an inch and punch. And the same on the other side and punch. So with this, you don't really need eyelets because the laminate and the acetate together should hold everything tight and nice. You don't have to worry about the holes separating. So then I'm gonna carefully bend this over and get something to mark the holes on the other side. Again, you could just eyeball this. I'm just not a good eyeballer all the time, so I'm just going to mark it with this pen or this marker so that I can get the holes in roughly the same location. And punch. I'm going to laminate it one more time since I punched the holes and I folded it and all of that. Since the ribbons, the bookmarks in this are black, even though I have them hidden. Well, I tried to have them hidden. Let's just let them come out. And if they bother me, then I will tape them up later. So you probably don't want to laminate the acetate so many times since it's not heat resistant. You can, while it's hot, put something heavy on it to make sure that it stays flat. I'm just going to go ahead and string it. So I have the spool of black elastic. I'm not sure what millimeter this is, but if you would like to know, I will try to link to it in the description box below. I've had this for a while. So I'm going to start in at one end. It doesn't matter if it's the top or the bottom. Let me trim this off so that we don't have all this frayed fabric or string on the end. So I'm going to go in the middle. If you want your knot to end up in the middle, then start in the middle. So I'm going to go in the middle, and this is going to be my inside. So this is the side that's going to show. This is the side that I want my strings on. So I'm just going to pull some more through. In through the middle, up through one hole next to it, down to the same hole on the other end, like this. Then up, it's kind of like a little stitching, a little sewing. Then up through the middle. Again. Let's get some more off. Then we're going to go down through the middle on the other end. You might have to pull your elastic over to expose the hole. Push that through. Then up through the other side. Essentially what you're doing here is making yourself a acetate and laminate traveler's notebook. So we go over, then down to the other end. Might have to trim it again. It's got the fuzzies on the end. And then up through the other end in the middle. There we go. All right, and then you can adjust the length so that you don't waste any of your elastic, which is why I leave it on. Well, this time I left it on the spool. I don't always do that, but it kind of is a good idea so that you don't have so much waste. Okay, so let's tighten that up a wee bit, not too tight. Okay. So I think I got those as tight as I want them. So there we have it. This is basically a clear traveler's notebook, but we're using it as an insert to turn this notebook cover into a TN. So this is again a B6 Moterm cover. And let's slide that in. So there we have it. We got a traveler's notebook. Let's put our Dollar Tree planner in it. I'm gonna put the knot in the middle for now. And you can trim this down. You can burn the ends to make sure that it doesn't unravel. I'm not gonna do any of that at the moment, but I guess I can turn that off. It's humming away. You're gonna have to work your laminate to help it lay flat. But that is it. So you can put your notebooks in there. It's kind of making it puffy. And I'm not sure that it wouldn't work with just the laminate sheet without the acetate, but the acetate does make it look cute. So you'd have to try it if you want to do it a different way. And again, you're going to have to work this, maybe set something heavy on top of it overnight to make sure that it will lay flat or as flat as possible. And yeah, that's what it looks like from the top. That's pretty cool. Okay. If you enjoyed this video, please check out these other videos for more planner DIYs. Thanks for watching. Bye.